Good morning and welcome to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, hurricane season, it's making itself known.
Absolutely. Shonda, I can tell you this is shaping up to be one of the most challenging hurricane seasons we've ever had here in the Big Bend, and perhaps across the country, as we saw this past weekend. I'm hopeful that those communities are surviving and hopefully will be back thriving. Certainly the damage that's been done here in the Big Bend has been somewhat devastating. We've got staff and supplies that are being shipped over to Taylor County specifically. Right. Also in the Big Bend, we are looking out for our brothers and sisters all across the Big Bend. This has been really one of the worst storms we've ever had. And thank God, I know I got a little criticism because I said we were spared here in Leon County, and quite honestly, we were citizens. But as I understand it, there's another one right there in the getting ready to get established, perhaps again in the Gulf. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us.
Right, we've had Helene, and now, as you said, hurricane season, we're about to hit the peak in October. And first responders, when everybody else is evacuating or, hunkering down, we're all going in. And so talk a little bit about what that response looks like.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, our deputies and EMS, fire, rescue, police, they're all out there, not to mention our state partners, the FDLE and others. We are all engaged in trying to go out and keep our communities safe, and we abandon our families to a sense, and we're out there trying to serve the public. And I think, as I've said many times before, this is perhaps one of the most rewarding professions you can be in, because you're always out there serving the people of your community. And I give my hats off to those first responders and all those various occupations they have, to include being a CDA dispatcher, which is kind of the anchor for us getting things done.
Absolutely, and we've talked on this show about prepping for hurricane season and all the things you need to know, but today we're really looking at it from the perspective of those people who are on the other end of the line when you call 911.
Yeah, some people don't understand it, but they go through the same trauma that our deputies go through, because they're having to stay on those lines many times, talking to those families and hearing those loved ones have the horrendous things taking place, and they've got to sit there and try to coordinate all that. Tough job.
It is a tough job, and we're going to delve into that today. They've got lots of information to share as we are in the heart of hurricane season. All right, well, be sure to stick around, everybody. That voice you hear on the other end of the line when you call 911, we're talking with our friends from the Consolidated Dispatch Agency after the break.
Good morning. This is Sergeant Sean Edwards with the Leon County Sheriff's Office Recruiting Unit, and this is your Safety Tip Tuesday.
When recovering from a disaster, the first steps you take after are crucial. Verify your insurance coverage and don't rely on a contractor to tell you what's covered. Before you commit to anything, use online review sites you trust to see what others are saying. Be skeptical of anyone promising immediate cleanup or repairs. Never pay for repairs in full until the work is completed and you are satisfied with the job.
And that was your Safety Tip. Have a nice day.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
Little everyday conversations about the dangers of underage drinking can make a big difference in a child's life. Talk, they hear you.
Another teenager, victim to fake pills. That smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be this easy? Did you know that fake prescription pills may contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal? Before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real.
A 19-second conversation with a stranger online can put your child in danger of being exploited or abused.
Talking to kids about online safety can protect us for a lifetime. Don't wait. Talk to us today.
Welcome back. The Consolidated Dispatch Agency is a very busy place during a storm. Joining us now is the director at the CDA, David Oldham. David, tell us about your role at the CDA.
Yeah, our role at the CDA Sheriff is really, it's the first response. When people call into our communication center, they're calling for help and assistance from our first responder partners, and we're that first voice, first contact, if you will. And so we're really instrumental in trying to get the resources out to the appropriate folks here that need the help.
Well, you know how much I appreciate the job you do and your staff do almost every day. But talk about the first responders' role during a storm. What exactly are you guys doing when that hurricane's bearing down on us?
Yeah, you know, for us, so we've been monitoring the storm activities. We've been working with our partners, trying to get an assessment of what that response may look like. And so for us, we've really had to increase staffing and make sure we have the appropriate levels in the room. And so the coordination is incredible at that point. It's all hands on deck, everybody's engaged, we're all ready to go to make sure that we've got those resources available to you.
And you've got how many other agencies there you're trying to coordinate with? Yeah?
Well, it seems like a lot, but the reality, there's about 5 or 6 different agencies that we're trying to coordinate with, but a lot of folks doing a lot of great things to really try to bring this community back online.
You know, Hurricane Helene shifted right there at the end in a different direction. What would have been the impact in your estimation had that hurricane come right into Leon County?
You know, it's a great conversation, a great question to ask here, because you and I've had this over the last couple of days. How bad was this going to be for us? And the projections were going to be that, hey, this could be potentially like what happened to Panama City after Hurricane Michael, and there was a lot of concern, a lot of planning in place here to make sure that we could get back online pretty quickly here. You see what's happening to our neighbors to the north. You know, our heart goes out to those folks here, but it could have easily been us, only by the grace, so it wasn't.
What were the top needs that occurred during that storm for our community here?
Yeah, you know, power outage obviously is always a big concern. And so individuals going without power and those concerns that, hey, I've got medical issues and medical concerns related to that. And so we get a lot of calls for that. A lot of folks looking for shelters. I think they just overwhelmed our community about how bad this is going to be. And so folks calling in saying, listen, I'm just trying to find the closest shelter to where I'm at. And so we spent a lot of time and energy trying to make sure that they were getting to where they need to be.
Yeah, now, one of the major things in one of those storms like that is the coordination of resources. We have the state EOC up and running. We have the CDA up and running. Absolutely. And then you've got other isolated pockets where the city manager and teams may be. How do you coordinate all that? How do you keep all that moving?
Yeah, that's a good question for sure. You know, all that coordination really happens before the storm. It happens, you know, a week before the storm, and really it happens during training and exercising and all that, how we're going to respond. So really when the storm happens, we're just trying to put in place and implement those plans that we've already have established. But that coordination on the ground is really happening in that public safety complex over off Easterwood Drive. A lot of coordination there, not just internally, but also externally with our state partners and our surrounding counties to make sure they're okay.
Oldham, you know, I think a whole lot of you, in fact, the emergency center that you guys run, but give the audience some idea, what's your background and how did you get to where you are?
Well, you know, I did 30 years with the police department and did that, and quite honestly, you hired me 30 years ago, if you remember those days, but went to the ranks, became a major at the police department, and then was really engaged with emergency management. The coordination component of that is really interesting to see how you bring all these different entities together during these times of need. And so I was on that emergency operations team for about 25 years, and so that coordination is really at the heart of where I like to work.
Hold that thought. Coming up, when to call 911. David shares information about what numbers to call when it's not an emergency. Stay tuned.
Well, Manny, it looks like it's going to be a close game today.
Absolutely, Danny. And with Smith on the bench, it's going to be interesting.
Man, you really going to wear that jersey in this house?
Agreed. And look at Marcus. He's looking good today, coming in hot with the veggies. Let's take a look.
Antioxidants, vitamins A and C, and fiber. But, oof, Curtis. There's a lot of wings there, man. Are there any veggies on that plate? Let's take a closer look.
High protein, low fiber, high salt.
Flag on the play.
Oh, but look, Kyle's plate still is empty.
Let's see what he's gonna do.
Now, Manny, he does know that the carrots are the healthier choice.
Look at that play.
A more balanced play. Small changes equal big benefits for your heart.
A healthy diet is a win.
In 70-degree weather, it takes only minutes for the inside of your car to heat up like an oven. At 104 degrees, heat stroke begins, followed by loss of consciousness. Every year, almost 40 children die of heat stroke after being forgotten in a vehicle. A simple change in daily routine is often the cause. Look before you lock. Brought to you by Kids in Cars.
Domestic violence knows no faith.
1 in 4 women experiences abuse in their relationship.
So most likely, there are victims of abuse in your congregation.
Don't think it doesn't happen in your church.
Or synagogue.
Or mosque.
Because it does.
It does.
It does.
Learn the signs of abuse.
And how to help victims.
Know the many resources available in our community.
End the silence on domestic violence.
Contact the Domestic Violence Coordinating Council or the Refuge House Hotline.
We're back with David Oldham, Director of the Consolidated Dispatch Agency. David, when a storm's bearing down on our area, emotions run high. How does 911 respond to those circumstances?
Yeah, these are critical incidents, and these are critical calls that are coming into our center. So our folks are trained in coping techniques and de-escalation techniques to try to calm the caller down and get the pertinent information that's needed. But just keep in mind, though, that they live in this community as well, so they have families and friends in this community, and so they're wanting to do the very best that they can because they understand the critical need of it.
David, we're talking about here locally, but Consolidated Dispatch is more than just local.
Yes, sir.
Talking about our regional response and what you guys do to make sure this entire region is covered.
Well, that's a very good point. You know, the Consolidated Dispatch Agency is obviously focused on Leon County, but quite honestly, we have partners. You know, we have our neighboring counties that we're concerned about, and so we are supportive of them. And so if an incident like this happens, that we can take their calls coming into our center and absorb that. We're also working with our partners around the state to say, hey, if something drastically happens to us, like what we're seeing in the north of us, hey, who can help support us? And so we reached out to Collier County, Okaloosa County, St. Johns County, these counties that are not necessarily affected by the storm, but can help support us. It's a critical partnership that we have.
Yeah, I was really amazed in the coordination you've made, Collier County particularly during this storm. But talk about what the need that we have locally. If there's an emergency or there's not an emergency going on, exactly what are you guys doing when we're not in an emergency situation?
Yeah, for us, you know, obviously, you know, we do about 500,000 calls into that Consolidated Dispatch Agency every year, and so there's a lot of calls coming in. Most of them are critical calls, and some of them are just informational calls. Training and policies and procedures in place to make sure when we have these significant events, like we just witnessed, that we're prepared. It is critical that we keep 911 operational and that we have the ability to respond when needed.
Yeah, our community is a really unique community from my perspective, and the businesses kick in, the community comes together. What's some of the things that you would hope to see from our community in the event we have a storm?
You know, we do a lot of partnerships with the Sheriff's Office and with city and county government, and one of those partnerships is awareness, making sure people understand, hey, we need your help and support to help us do a better job effectively. And so we ask a lot of this community to be prepared, and we've campaigned with Tallahassee Prepared, for example. It's an initiative to make sure people have the resources and they know what to do and how to respond. And so what we do collectively is to make sure we promote that. So it makes our jobs easier. It makes the deputies and the officers and firefighters and EMS personnel an easier function for them to do to be able to respond.
Now, I know one thing that we do in the Leon County Sheriff's Office, I know TPD does it as well, and that is we all need good people.
Absolutely.
So what are you guys doing extra to get good people to come to the CDA?
Well, we have a heck of a campaign. You hear me all over the radio, and the reason why is because you really want a servant's heart. in the room. We've got to have folks that are dedicated to come in. And keep in perspective here, when Hurricane Helene came, we called all of our staff back. So they left their families and friends and they came to the organization. They overnighted at the organization, they were there. I needed to make sure that they were willing to be there and to stay there. So we need folks like that, to come in with a servant's heart that are dedicated to serving others. That's what I'm looking for.
David, what do we do or who do we call if it's not an emergency?
Yeah, if it's not an emergency, we ask you to call the non-911 call, which is the 850-606-5800. And an operator will answer that phone just as diligently as they would answer a 911 call.
And your staff, you've been there for quite a while. You started at TPD, as you indicated. Yeah. The relationship you have with the Tallahassee Police Department, with the Leon County Sheriff's Office, are second to none. What could you share with our viewers out there about the consolidated dispatch and how it's an integral part of keeping our community safe?
Yeah, for the Consolidated Dispatch Agency, though, it's really the heartbeat of public service and public safety in this community here. Everything kind of runs through that public safety complex. And what happens in that Consolidated Dispatch Agency, though, is individuals helping with the coordination. The relationships are critical, not just with the Sheriff's Office, but our other first responder partners. And so we work on that, we foster that every day, and we have this full engagement with our partners. It's critical.
Well, David, how can they learn more about Consolidated Dispatch? Yeah.
First of all, I encourage you to come and take a tour of the facility, take a tour of the organization here. Call 911 Leon is a website, or you can call the main number, which is 850-606-5800. Love to have you join our team. Absolutely love it.
Thank you, David. Up next in our Deputy on Duty, our aviation unit celebrates a major milestone. Stay tuned.
An email from the post office. How do they even know my email address?
They don't. This is a bogus email sent by scammers that looks like it is coming from the Postal Service, or even the Postmaster General himself. The email contains fraudulent information about an attempted or intercepted package delivery, and provides a link to click on to find out when delivery is expected. But that click can activate a virus, which can steal personal information such as usernames, passwords, or financial account numbers stored on the computer or mobile devices. Here are some telltale signs that an email is bogus. It contains poor grammar or spelling errors. It states that immediate action must be taken or there'll be dire consequences. It requests personal information under the guise of reconfirming information. The Postal Service does not notify customers about package delivery attempts by email. If you receive such a message, don't open it. Instead, forward it to spam@uspis.gov and then delete the email.
At the Florida Sheriff's Association, we are able to serve our sheriffs and Floridians thanks to our member support. The FSA Member Perks program was created to give back to our members for all that they do. Members enjoy savings on restaurants, vacations, golf courses, car rentals, healthcare, movie tickets, theme parks, online shopping, and more. With over 300,000 offers, you'll always find ways to save. To learn more or to join the Florida Sheriff's Association, visit fsamemberperks.org.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer.
I'm a barber.
A waitress.
A mom.
We're all part of your community.
Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty.
Something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
A 19-second conversation with a stranger online can put your child in danger of being exploited or abused.
Talking to kids about online safety can protect us for a lifetime. Don't wait. Talk to us today.
Another teenager, victim to fake pills. That smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be this easy? Did you know that fake prescription pills may contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal? Before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real.
In this episode of Deputy on Duty, we're marking 50 incredible years with our aviation unit, demonstrating that the sky truly is the limit.
My name's Lee Majors. I'm the current captain of the Sheriff's Aviation Bureau.
Captain Majors has been with the Leon County Sheriff's Office since 1985 and is an accomplished pilot and instructor in both airplanes and helicopters.
So there's two answers to how long I've been here. I've been here full-time in aviation for 24 years. However, I did 15 reserve before that for a total of 39, and most of that I had some affiliation with aviation.
With nearly 40 years in the aviation unit, Captain Majors has observed the continuous evolution of both the unit and its aircraft.
It's amazing where we've come in those number of years. This aircraft, this was a new model to the manufacturer. This was the third law enforcement one of these in the world when we took delivery. It was the first one outside of California. We were the East Coast rollout for public safety for this aircraft. Technology hands down different than what it used to be. In fact, that's where we kind of excel now, is the technology on the aircraft makes us valuable.
Our aviation unit has operated a diverse range of aircraft and is committed to remaining innovative by utilizing the finest options available.
Here, the Bell OH-58, the Bell 206B Jet Ranger, and now the new Bell 505.
This unit would not have been possible without the efforts of former LCSO Aviation Unit Captain Jim Bragdon, who established this team from the ground up.
Oh my goodness. Starting back, Captain Bragdon started this with 2 people. We've got 13 people work here now, and that's still growing. One of our strategic goals is to be 24 hours, and we are on the cusp of making that happen, 24 hours on site. The technology has gotten so much better. The professionalism of the guys that we've brought in here from other agencies. We have many agencies now come to us looking for guidance. That's a pretty normal thing. Big agencies asking us for guidance on how we did what we did.
Through the collaboration of the LCSO and TPD Joint Aviation Task Force, delivering air support services to the residents of Leon County and Tallahassee has become significantly more efficient.
So we have pilots and flight officers from the police department that augment what we do here. The 2 things I wanted from that, one was to increase our number of hours that we had available so we could work later into the evening. We're now 7 nights a week. And the other thing I had hoped for that was to increase that communication on the street level, because the city knew they had the asset here, but it was kind of like calling your neighbor to come help you. Well, now they've got a guy. And that has far exceeded my expectations.
From ground to sky, our deputy sheriffs in the aviation unit truly experience the best of both worlds in their law enforcement roles.
So here, all of our people here are pilots and tactical flight officers, deputy sheriffs, city police officers. We've got both of those worlds and all of that training and all of that recurrent training that we have to keep up on both sides.
With almost 40 years on the job, Captain Majors has tracked missing persons, tracked criminals, and helped control the mosquito population from Air One. Now he's transitioned more into an administrative role.
So day to day, I'm pretty much an administrator nowadays. The guys let me fill in a shift and go get a flight in. My job every day is to get the guys that work under me the things they need, the equipment they need, the support they need to do their job.
If you're ready to take your career to new heights at the Leon County Sheriff's Office, apply for a job today. Visit our website at leoncountyso.com. For Leon County Today, I'm Shonda Knight.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
The drug landscape has changed. Illegal fentanyl has made its way into the drug supply. And it's a danger you might not see coming. A synthetic opioid up to 50 times stronger than heroin, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. It only takes the tiniest amount to cause a fatal overdose. A fraction of a raindrop, or 3 grains of salt. Your drugs don't come with an ingredients list. Although fentanyl is being mixed into almost every kind of drug, you wouldn't be able to see it, or smell it, or taste it. Fentanyl is one of the most common drugs involved in overdose deaths. Know the dangers. Learn the facts about fentanyl and ways to protect yourself at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
Download the Leon County Sheriff's Office mobile app right now. Our mobile app makes it easier than ever to report a crime and get important safety alerts. You can also see who's been booked at the Leon County Detention Facility and follow reported crimes in your neighborhood, all in one convenient location in the palm of your hands. Download LCSO Connect right now. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play by searching LCSO Connect.
Welcome back to Leon County Today. Sheriff, 50 years of aviation at the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
50 years. I tell you, I've been doing this for 45, so that our aviation unit precedes me. It goes way back, I guess, to the early 60s or late 70s, perhaps. And just to see the growth that we've made over those years and a change in technology. Sometimes I look at the pictures we've got there at the Sheriff's Office going back and all the veterans who are there, and I'm excited about the fact we're bringing some of the aviation staff who are gone retired back to the Leon County Sheriff's Office. That feel of family is something we are always seeking to have, and certainly this event's going to really emphasize that. Their dedication, they paved the way, and we're reaping the benefits.
Yeah, nice walk down memory lane, and can't wait to see what the next 50 years brings about.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's scary to think about. But then going back to the Consolidated Dispatch Agency, it really is the hub when we're going through these storms, and they do such a great job of coordinating.
There was a lot of consternation back when we first built the Consolidated Dispatch. There was concerns about how do we mix the police department, the sheriff's office, and the EMS and all that together. It's working perfectly. Just like whomever designed it back in those days, it's working perfectly.
It is indeed. All right, we want to make sure everybody stays safe out there and stay vigilant during this hurricane season. All right, have a great day, everybody.